Lionel. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is your girl Tasha, known to the world as the Tasha Carpenter. But each and every one of you call me your girl Tasha because when you hang with me, it's like you're hanging with your girl. And we're back here today. We're doing a redo. All of you were with us on Monday, but we had some technical difficulties and we could not leave that up because that is not a representation of WBGR or your girl Tasha or our wonderful guest that we had, Grandma Slam. So we're back today, but I want you to know that we are not duplicating what we did on Monday. So you need to make sure you stay tuned because we have some new poems. You guys heard her poems last Monday, but we got some new stuff for you that you did not hear, and we had some new topics too. So please make sure that you stay in with us. Make sure that you share. Make sure that you invite and make sure that you comment because as usual I'm on my Facebook page and I will be interacting with you guys on Facebook. So say hello to me and let me know where you're coming from, okay? So
I'm back.
You are back. We got a redo here.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
But we were talking about how God wanted this redo to happen.
Yes.
Okay. It was some people was like they was mad as the devil busy making a sound go in and out. You can't hear nobody, but he wanted this to happen because there was some things that we didn't touch on that you thought about afterwards.
Right. Yes.
And there were some things that you just wanted to share, right?
Yes.
So you know what? I think they all know that we affectionately call you Grandma Slam,
Yeah.
but to the world, as I say, known to the world as Lottie Mae Mcdonald.
Yes.
Tell me about who Lottie Mae Mcdonald is. Tell me a little bit about your roots.
Yeah. My name is Lottie Mae Taylor McDonald, and I was born in Aliceville, Alabama, and we moved to Detroit, Michigan. I am a sister of 9 brothers and sisters. My mother had 10 children in the inner city of Detroit, Michigan.
Wow, 9.
Yes,
Good
yes.
Lord.
Yes, and I was the oldest girl, so I was the protector. And I started working when I was very young, at 9 years old, and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, so
Yes.
you've always been a hustler.
A hustler.
That's what it is. My mom met you at a local communications company,
Yeah.
and she always referred to you as a hustler because you've done a little bit of everything.
Everything.
You are truly a royal queen boss. See, nowadays
Thank
they
you.
call people queen bosses.
Oh, I see.
But see, you are a royal queen boss.
Yes.
So, tell me. So it's 10 of you guys.
Yes.
And as far as your upbringing and stuff, and when you was working at 9 years old, what were you doing at 9 years old?
I was
working?
selling chlorine salve. It was a salve on the back of a comic book. And sell this salve. I don't know what it was supposed to be doing to you back in the 40s, I guess it's 40s, after World War II. And they would sell you the salve in a little jar, and then they will also give you an art piece to give to the person when they buy the salve. So they had all this beautiful art and on a piece of paper, and I would give them that and sell the salve.
Okay.
So that was 9 years out.
Good Lord.
Yes.
Okay. And right now, you are the young age of
78 years old and thanking God all the way.
I know that's right. 78
Very.
years old, guys. Don't she look good to be 78 years old? I mean,
Thank you.
I mean, just glowing. Oh, look, she's all blinged out. The beautiful colors, and the purple is a royal color. Just
Yes.
everything about you says royalty.
Yes.
So, after being Lottie Mae Taylor McDonald, how did you migrate into becoming Grandma Slam?
Well, I went to South Africa with a group from Baltimore, and I met this young man when I met him at a flea market, and he was such a nice young man, and he reminded me of my son, my oldest son, and we both found out that he was from Silver Spring, Maryland. Name was John, wore glasses, and he was about 6'2". And so I didn't see this man anymore until we were about to leave to get on the airplane, and we had a little time to kill. And we was at this flea market, and I see John again. And then I see this beautiful sister trying to sell him some masks. And I believe John wanted her to give him the mask free, really.
Everybody always trying to get a hookup.
And she was saying, I can't do that. And she was such a beautiful lady and had some of the most beautiful big eyes. And so he got mad with her. Now, this is a Christian from Silver Springs, Maryland. And he threw those masks. When she wrapped them, he threw them in her face. And I saw the hurt of this lady, you know, and I didn't have any money to buy. I would have bought the mask. I didn't have any more money. So when it hurt me so bad. When I got on the airplane, I was hurting. And I just hurt every time I thought about this lady looking up and this man disrespecting her, and he was a black man, and throwing the mask in her face after she had wrapped them. Then it dawned on me that black women are treated like that all over the world. We are so disrespectful. I mean, you know, they treat us, yes, disrespected. And so one night on Dr. King's birthday, it seemed like my body was on fire. And I got up and I started writing, Black Boogie Woman, on a little piece of paper. Black Boogie Woman. And I wrote this little poem, and I knew it was good. So in the morning, I called my sister in Detroit and read the poem to me. And she got so excited, my sister Kathleen, until she said, read it to your nephew, Maurice. And I read it to him, and he said, Auntie, that is good. So then I started calling all the ladies that I worked with at the telephone company, reading this poem. And they said, this is a beautiful poem. So then one of the ladies said, Lottie, I will write the poem for you, and you will perform it. So I had met a couple of weeks before that a beautiful poet named Forrestine Bynum. I had heard her, so I wanted her to read the poem. And so she said, read the poem to me, Lottie. I read the poem to her. She said, I'm not going to do this. I said, well, and then my feeling was beginning to hurt. Why? She said, because you're going to do it, and I can tell you where to go to do it. So I started performing at Borders Bookstore out in Wardolph, Maryland.
All right, I like
Yes.
that. Everybody always trying to pass off something else.
Yeah.
My team says I told them to do stuff all the time. So she told you to do your own poem.
Do my own poem.
Black Boogie Woman. And boogie is like boogeyman under the bed,
scared.
being scared. So let's go ahead and break off and let's share with our audience. Black Boogie Woman. Hey Summer, hey Denise, hey
Black Boogie Woman. I am no longer your Black Boogie Woman. Oh no, I am no longer your Black Boogie Woman. Oh yes, you heard me right. You can no longer have my heart to break, nor my soul to take. For many, many years I've been your black boogie woman. You have disrespected me in every way possible. You have used me up. You have lied and talked about me. But most of all, you have abused me throughout generations. Honey, you have used my backbone like a bridge over troubled waters. You have walked, ran, and squatted all over it. While my blood, sweat, and tears underneath it has filled many, many ocean wide. Since I am no longer your black boogie woman, will I allow you or anyone else to ever hurt or devalue me again? Because I know who I am, the original mother of this earth. I am the one whose hands rock the cradle of all nations. I know within my heart, my soul, and the spirit within me that I am a very, very strong African woman. So you see, my dear, you can't have me no longer because I am no longer yours to have, black boogie woman.
Yes, exactly. Your poems are just so amazing. So I can imagine why your family is so excited about that. And it seems to me when I was flipping through the books this morning, looking at stuff, you seem to focus on things involving respecting women.
Yes.
Okay. Respecting yourself.
Yes.
Life itself.
Yes.
So if life is taken away earlier or something, you got something to say about it because it's not
That's
right.
Yes.
And also love.
Love. Love is so very important. You have to love. And you have to have love, too. You have to love. Love is universal. Yes.
Now tell me something, because see, I know that at one point in time, and you said you weren't going to do that poem today, but there was a situation where you had a younger lady that thought that she could tell you what to do.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what to do, but what I am saying, because you're talking about love,
yes,
and with all your years and your wisdom, tell me, how are we supposed to really identify when it's true love? What is true love?
True love is when true love is when you're a friend with someone, and then you turn into lovers. That's what true love is. Somebody respecting you. Somebody not using you. Somebody just treating you like a lady. Treating you like a lady and very sincere.
Now, is love controlling?
It's not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be controlling. If a person loves you, you should still be able to grow.
To be free and grow.
To be free and grow. And that right there, they got to stand up. That segues us into your poem that you wrote. When I read it, I kind of thought about this poem being a tribute to a form of domestic violence. Too often when it comes to domestic violence, we look for the physical, we look for the bruises and things on people. But domestic violence comes in a lot of different forms, and sometimes it's spiritual, it's mental, it's controlling. So if you're with someone, and whether it's from the woman being with the man or the man being with the woman, because men hurt too. I did that for my Queen and Fee. She'll be a guest in a couple of weeks. Men hurt too. You're supposed to be able to grow. Yes. You're not supposed to feel smothered. You're not supposed to feel like you got to be scared to be you.
Yes.
So you wrote your a poem about the trunk, right?
The trunk, and that was because one of my friends called me one day, and she told me that her husband just would not let her grow. I mean, he would just, every time she would want to fly, he would bring her back. And so I thought about it, and when I wrote this poem, I thought about the trunk. and I would like to recite it now. The trunk, the old-fashioned concealed trunk of your soul, my love. As a natural woman and a human being who does breathe freely on her own, will you allow me to be free as a butterfly, or will you try to control and suffocate the spiritual growth within me in that old-fashioned concealed trunk of your soul? You see, my love, if I'm free to be me, we both can explore the horizon of our universe of hidden treasure, emeralds, diamond, gold, and rubies of our heart and soul. If only I am free. Only then, my love, can we become entwined and embrace and lace with the sweet blackberry of passion, of essence that lies between me and you. If only I am free. My love, just like a sweet aroma of a red, delicious apple, I will take my hands and caress the inner core of your mind, body, heart, and soul. If only I am free. My love, as a spirited woman of expressing wisdom and knowledge, I will love all of you from the top of your head to the soles of your feet with all my strength and might. If only I am free. If only I am free. If you don't understand my feelings at this precious moment in my life, my love, what I'm trying to relate only to you as a woman of emotion with natural desires, wants, and special needs from the depths of my inner thoughts and my dreams. My love, you will never comprehend the true woman within me. Also, if you don't have the golden key to unlock the trunk, the old-fashioned concealed trunk of your soul, you can never, never have me, my love. Not now or ever after. Because I will always be me and I will always be free.
Free. You see that, guys? I mean, I see some hearts coming up down there on the Facebook and everything, and that means so much.
Yes.
That a relationship is not about just taking out.
Right.
But you gotta put in, you gotta give and take in. It goes both ways.
Yeah, both ways. Yes.
And it's not about being a puppet or anything.
Yes.
So the trunk actually is. So that's an earlier book because you have two publications. So you have the one book. You actually felt so strong about that you named the
I
first
named
book,
that the trunk, yes.
The trunk.
Yes,
okay.
I did.
And when it comes to doing your books, because you know what, I hope that a young lady by the name of Cheryl Brown is watching this. She's in Rhode Island.
Yes.
And she's debating on doing a cookbook, right?
Mm-hmm, yes.
But she, a lot of people adore seeing her plates. And when she went to talk to somebody, it's like, well, do you know how many calories is in all your plates? I'm like, well, you know what? Every cookbook doesn't have to have calories. Everybody's not looking at the calories. But when it comes to creating something, because this being your first book,
yes,
it's like maybe you went to like a Staples or someone.
A beautiful young lady named Jerry White designed that book for me. She's a graphic artist and she does T-shirts and things. And she designed that for me.
She designed it and she kept it very simple. So
yes.
it's not like you had to go to a publication
right.
company
yes.
and get binding and all this other kind of stuff. So to people out there who want to write books, whether it's a poetry book or something, what word of advice would you give them when they're thinking about how it has to be perfect? Because
this is not perfect. And my daughter-in-law did all the poems for me. The first book, my daughter-in-law blessed me with doing all the poem and editing and all that. But Jerry did the front of the book.
Okay.
Yes, she did the front of the book.
So what would you say? Because some people are looking to be here.
Yeah, this is a chapbook, and this is what a lot of the poets, when they first start out, they do a chapbook. And it's very simple because all you type up your poems on a piece of paper and group it up, and then get your front and back book. And you can get that at Staples or any place, that does that kind of work.
Now, if you had, when you wrote this book, this one was written in 2000?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that if you had not got started with this, if this would have even manifested?
No, it would not have.
Okay. So that's my thing that I'm trying to message.
Right.
I would think that we want to give people is that if you have something that you want to do, don't be focusing on it being perfect.
Yes.
The key is to take the first step and get started with it.
Right. Because you had to crawl before you walk.
Say that thing again. Like, I'm
you had to
Trinity
crawl before you walk.
And everybody trying to, they want to have that microwave success.
Yes.
Nobody wants to take the little
and
steps.
that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. So that's what I did. I started with that, and then 4 years later, I had this book. And I had a lot of people helping me. A lot of people, were helping me. Because one of the problems that I have, and I used to think something was wrong with me, is that when I write, I leave things out. Mm-hmm. So I thought I was very stupid. But I never shared that. Nobody knew that. I had so many hidden secrets. But nobody knew how I was feeling about that. So just 3 weeks before my husband he knew he was dying. And we were sitting talking. We were sharing information. And I had never shared that with him about my feelings. And plus I had 2 sons who was honor roll students. And so I said, I guess they must get it from their dad because I came in right. And so I shared the information with my husband. I said, honey, why do I write and I leave things out? And my husband lit up like a Christmas tree. Baby, it's nothing wrong with you. Your brains is moving faster than you can write. I went in the bedroom because he was in the hospital. I had a hospital room for him. And I went into the bedroom and closed the door and threw up my hands. I said, God, I can't be dumb if my brains is moving faster than I can write.
Right.
A year later, I'm a poet. So I feel that God was planting the seed. Because my husband had never told me that. I don't think I would ever been a poet.
Right.
And yep.
And I think that with you talking to him about that, and you're looking at other people, and you pointed out that your sons were on a roll, and other people appeared to be smart because they were able to complete their sentence, is because too often we are trying to compare ourselves to everyone else.
Yes.
And the problem is that if we just look at our own grass in our own yard, it might not be as brown as it is if we stop watering everybody else's grass.
Yes.
So when your husband said that was the water to go on that seed for the blossom, which manifested into the gift you have of being Grandma Slam.
That's right.
Now, I know there was another thing that you was wondering about, too. You wondered why you had a voice so boisterous like your father.
Yes. And I used to work at the telephone company along with your mom, and my voice would be so loud sometimes until people had to move away from me. And my feelings were just hurting. So I would pray to God. I said, God, why couldn't I have this soft, sweet voice like my mama? Now I know that he would prepare me. God would prepare me from the beginning almost, because now I know why I have the loud voice.
Right.
I know why I have the loud voice.
Right. So you could get out on stage and you could sing, you could share these beautiful words with everyone. And my dad was very, because he used to make up stories for us when we were children. And and everybody in the neighborhood just loved my dad. And he would make up stories and tell, and with the loud voice, then he had this loud laughter and all that, So God was just preparing me. That's where I feel now. All right. right now. So we've done a relationship poem already.
Uh-huh.
And of course, that relationship poem wasn't about the best side of things because it was about somebody not allowing you to be free.
Free, yes.
But I would think that because we have Valentine's Day right around the corner, we have to do a relationship poem that is happy. So that would bring us to doing Thank You, My Love.
Okay.
Now let me just take a little bit of a minute, a point of order about myself.
Okay.
You know, some people may not know, or the viewers who are just meeting me now, Your Girl Tasha actually recently came out of a 20-year marriage. And the reason why I came out of that 20-year marriage is because I just didn't have the support that I was supposed to have from this man.
Right.
This man supported. He didn't look at me as his family.
Yeah.
You know, he would say things like, "You're not gonna make me disrespect my family," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm the mother to your kids and all this other kind of stuff." But in trying to stay in that marriage and make things work, I smothered myself.
Yes.
I didn't grow.
Yes.
Because of that relationship.
Right.
And when I finally got enough nerve to walk out and walk away from it, things started happening.
Yes.
And this is where this Your Girl Tasha manifested herself. And the whole thing about BAM, my favorite word, being authentically me, because I was in a marriage for 20 years where I wasn't able to be authentically me. But now, your poem, that poem earlier, I copy paste that to the one now.
Oh,
you know,
really?
I don't say his information because he
Yeah.
don't do social media. And I told him, I said, I'm up here reading Miss Lottie's poems, and this is how I feel because of you. Because now I'm in a relationship where a man has allowed me
to be
free, and I started growing and being me.
Yes.
So share that with us, please. Thank you, my love.
Yes. I wrote this about 3 or 4 years after my husband. And this is, and usually I do it around Valentine's Day. And it's thanks to you, my love. Thanks to you, my love, for restoring the sun ray back into my life. As I rise up out of the valley of dark shadows, loneliness that had taken place within the solitude, confinement of myself. Reviving the fortitude of my true inner self. Thanks to you, my love, for rekindling the burning flames that had been smothered so deeply within the rich, dark, earthly soil of my soul. My love, you are the only one that has erected, rebuilt an imaginary sandcastle from a single pulse beat, where I can just touch, feel you within the silent springs of my soul, connecting the outer limits of your elegant heart of gold. Thanks to you, my love, for erasing my insecurity, tears spreading, sharing such a great pleasure of your sensitivity that floats in the deep, calm, deep blue sea of dreams. Combining laughter, silly giggles of a funny little boy and girl at heart. Thanks to you, my love, for helping me to rediscover my true beauty of peacefulness, serenity that has been in the great walls of my temple, for woven all of me into all of you, allowing me to have a natural spirit, freedom to be just me. It is a central need of a mature man and woman, which is a reflection in the mirror of your attentive, devoted, unconditional love for me. Sometimes being with you, my love, I feel like a purry little kitty cat who is nibbling off a golden trim crystal plate filled with caviar, who is so very much in love with you. Thanks to you, my love, for taking my delicate, damaged, fragile human heart, molding it back into a breathtaking, fresh, cuddly, beautiful bouquet of long-stem roses. Most of all, my love, thanks to you for just being you, my love.
Woo! Yes. yes. Oh my goodness. You know, I was having a discussion yesterday with a friend who was actually talking about in this, you know, the fact that there is a lot of good men and
Yes,
there's a
there
lot
are.
of good women
Yes.
out there.
Yes.
But sometimes a person who has been broken or a person
Yeah.
that's been hurt doesn't trust enough to find out about those individuals.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so how do you get past that pain to be able to trust again?
Well, that's sort of hard. That's a hard one. It does break you so until even when you meet a good person, you don't accept him because you think he gonna hurt you too. So that's I don't have an answer for that one.
It's hard for
It's
people
hard for
carrying
people,
around
yeah.
baggage and stuff
Yeah.
like that, you know. Because this is what he was saying to me. He said, you know, I'm a good guy, but some of the ladies I'm with, they're like, this and that happened in another relationship, therefore they can't see what I have to offer them, or they're not willing to accept it. So,
Cause that happened to me, and it got to a point that I didn't want to date anyone. But now I feel so free, and I'm 78 years old. Yes, I'm going to date someone.
Grandma
But
Slam,
it
you
took a
looking
little
for somebody?
time. It took a little time, but you know, when people hurt you, it's a very painful situation. You know, when they hurt you, and that's why I try not to hurt people because they're just too painful. And a lot of time people don't get over it. You know, they just fade away with a broken heart.
What are you looking for in a man?
What I'm looking for now in a man is honesty. He have to be family. You know, have a family. You know, like grandchildren and family, and he have to have a good heart and soul. But honesty, tell the truth. If you got a wife, don't come near me. You know, if you're trying to pimp off of me, stay away from me. You know, you're a liar, I definitely don't want you. You know, and if you one night stand, don't you dare to come near me.
I know that's right. Grandma Slam done laid down the law. Did y'all hear that? So if you could meet those qualifying aspects
And
that she
being
just put out there,
being a Christian,
and be a
love
Christian.
the Lord. Yes.
Love the Lord, because love is her favorite word, especially when it's "I love the Lord." We talked about that this past Monday.
Yes.
So if you meet those qualifications, you might just want to send a message.
That's right.
Onto Grandma Slam. Now, you talked about being one of 9 kids.
Yes.
Okay, and there was a time, actually, you're just coming back on the scene.
Yes.
Okay, you had disappeared for about 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you shared during the last show. Okay, we have 2 called. Thank you. So, can you push? We can push line 2. Hello.
How you doing?
Hi. Who's calling in?
This is Andre.
Okay. Can you turn your phone call down in the back because we hear the feedback?
Huh?
You got to turn the call down in the back. How you doing, Andre? What you want to say to Grandma
How you doing,
Slam?
Andre?
I'm fine. How y'all?
Doing great, hon. Doing great.
Yeah, I just want to say, you know, with men, there's always when one throws you over, all you gotta do is stand at that bus stop, and another one will come along.
And that's what I'm doing at the bus stop.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you'll get a bigger and better one.
That's right.
So we gotta go to the bus stop to find a man.
You can go to the club.
Oh, I don't want to go to the club.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know.
What about church? You go to church.
Yeah,
Let's do
they
church.
just as bad. Just, you know, you have to find one You know, going to the church.
Okay.
I done that.
Well, you and Grandma Slam will be able to meet up at the bus stop, Andre. Thank you for calling in.
Welcome. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
So, you went off the scene for about 4 years. Just pick it up and hang it back up. And the reason why you went off the scene, you shared with us the other day that it was in relationship to depression from
Yes.
2 areas.
Yes.
So your first area dealt with people
Putting me down, and I'm believing them. And the second one was an inward situation. When I was a little girl, my dad and mom sent us down to Aliceville, Alabama. And it's very hot down there. We're Detroit, where it's cold, hot. And I was the oldest, so I was about 4. My brother Aaron was 3, and my little sister Toots was 2. And we were used to help my grandmother pick cotton. We were just out there. We were children, and we were out there. We all 3 got heat stroke. And my little sister died. It was very devastating. She died from the heat stroke. We all were very sick. So then, of course, my mother was just devastated, and my dad, and they wouldn't let us go back down south. They came and got us. And 5 years later, my mother had this beautiful baby, and her name was Patricia. And my other sister was named Roberta, but we called her Toots. And she was 5 months old. And I was holding her. I was 8 years old then. And I was holding her. And she fell out of my arms on the floor, hardwood floor in the inner city. And about a couple of days later, her head started swelling. So my mom rushed her to Children's Hospital in Detroit, Michigan. And they did an operation on her. And she died on the operating table.
As it was, the operation was supposed to help her from the fall.
Yeah, and they didn't, back then, 70 years ago, they didn't know what they was doing. They don't have all the beautiful equipment that they have now to save lives. And my mother never did blame me. She blamed the doctor. She said, well, Dad and I should have never signed the papers. Now, I would always talk about my sister Toots from dying down south. I never mentioned Patricia. It just seemed like she had faded away. But she never faded away. She had consumed me, and I didn't know it. And I went into all the 70 years of my life feeling that I wasn't worthy, that I was, I didn't think I had killed her, but I did think, because I just felt so bad and guilty. But yet, and I always said to myself, I'm a bad person. And, and had low self-esteem and all that. And when God lifted the burden off of me last year, I understood. Then he brought, and it seemed like I heard my sister say, Lottie, God just wanted, you are not fault of me dying. God just wanted me sooner. And I could feel her spirit. I could feel God's spirit, and it lifted me up. And since it lifted me up, I'm not insecure anymore. I'm not feeling guilty. I'm not going in the corner and say I'm a bad person. God lifted all that, and it's one of the most beautiful feelings to be, forgetting. Well, you were really being forgiven.
Yeah.
Be, really, you had nothing.
It was you that needed to forgive yourself.
Yeah, myself. And then I had a beautiful auntie. She died at 94. She was sitting with her daughter, little granddaughter, and they were eating grapes. And the granddaughter choked on the grapes. Same age as my sister was younger. But she choked on the grapes, and she died right in front of my auntie. My auntie didn't stop going to church. My auntie kept on and lived, and a beautiful person till she died. Now, her parents, my little cousin parents, they eventually separated, and but she didn't give up, but I gave up. And then when I was on that hiatus for 4 years, I had stopped going to church. I mean, I was in so pain, I would not go to church. And so I started going back to church last year. And when I walked through that church door, the people started running to me. Everybody was crying. Everybody was snotting that day. And that was one of the most beautiful feelings too. And one lady, Marilyn Miles, she just lost her husband a couple of days ago. She had a little gift for me. She had held the gift for 4 years.
Wow.
And she told me that I knew you was coming back, but I didn't know when. And I'm telling you, I was walking on air that day. I couldn't even stand myself from all that love I got that day from the church members.
Because depression is real.
Yeah.
It'll keep you away. Like you
Yeah.
said, it consumed you. That's something you had on you for almost 7 decades.
70 years.
Wow.
And I'm very fortunate because I met a beautiful lady at Staples one day, and I was talking to her. And the same thing happened to her auntie. She was carrying this baby in a wagon, and it hit something, and the baby fell out and died. Her auntie died last year. She had never forgiven herself, and she was 90 years old.
So, your words of wisdom to anybody who's sitting there and they're holding something in that's keeping themselves prison.
Yes.
What would you suggest as a step for them to follow to overcome that?
Well, I think now as I have learned is to don't shut yourself down. Go and get help. And surround yourself with positive people, but don't beat up on yourself because nobody is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes and have things that, well, I shouldn't have done this, or why did I do this? But get professional help, and it's hard when you're in depression. It's almost like you're in a quicksand, like you're in a quicksand. But if you have faith and hold on and don't let go and get as much help as you can, you will survive.
So in having faith, you pray about it too.
Yes.
But some people think that all they can do is pray.
Yes.
But sometimes you got to take some extra steps there.
Yeah.
God created doctors and therapists, and just because you may have to go to them, it doesn't mean that you're crazy. It doesn't mean that you're less than anything else,
Yes.
But sometimes we have to make sure that we utilize the tools that He has in front of us.
Right.
Thank you so much for
You're
being
welcome.
transparent and sharing that. So let's see. I think it's time for us to go to another poem here up there. Hey, Cheryl Brown. Hey, everyone. How y'all doing? So look, let's go to what you want to do. Oh, since you just got finished kind of talking about life, how about telling a story about Bang Bang?
Bang Bang. I used to be in downtown. And one day I was breaking down, because you had to break down at 4 o'clock in D.C. And this mother came up to me. And I was telling her about I'm a poet. So then she said, my son was a poet. And I said, was? She said, but he was killed. And what had happened, they live in Southeast Washington. She moved her son to Mitchellville, Maryland. And the son was a poet. He had gone to New York, and they were doing a book and a recording for him. And he had a friend that he loved so much. His name was Honey Babe. And he was doing drugs. And he had crossed a Jamaican guy that was doing the drug dealer. And so when Larray went over to share his happiness with Honeydew, he couldn't find him. But the Jamaican drug dealer thought they were brothers, and he shot and killed them.
And from that, you wrote the poem.
And I wrote this poem. It upset me so bad. I wrote this poem overnight. And there's some, it takes me a couple of days to write something, but not this one. Bang, bang. What gave you the right to have taken my son's life? Oh, please tell me. What gave you the right to have taken my son's life? Who left behind a pregnant wife, who was someone's husband, father, and brother. Bang, bang. What gave you the right to have taken my son's life? What was the rationale? Couldn't you just have paused for a moment to think about the consequences of your behavior? Did you think about the domino effects of hurt and pain and grief that you have caused me and so many others? An innocent life full of opportunity, potential, who had a purpose being here on this earth, snuffed out just like that. Bang, bang. 6 bullets, one after another, into my child back. You was too much of a cold-blooded coward to shoot him point blank, face to face. Maybe, just maybe, you had realized that he was a brother who cries, bleeds, and hurry just like you. Why, oh, why would you violate my son's or anyone else's right to live? Lack of knowledge of thyself, insecurity, self-hatred, low self-esteem, or just plain not giving a darn? I need to know the truth right now. As my son lay bleeding profusely face down in a mass of blood, dying from his gunshot wounds, you were solely afflicted by your callous hands. You had an arrogant smile on your face of contentment, showing no compassion or remorse. To you, a job well done. Bang, bang. One thing you quite obviously and selfishly overlooked through your very own anger and hostility. Your very own mother, who I know within my heart did not raise you to be a killer. You see, when you shot my son 6 times in his back, you shot me, his mother. You also shot your very own mother in the birth canal of our wombs. We too are now bleeding profusely with our faces down. We too are now bearing the everlasting labor pains of your confusion because you didn't know your true worth. We too are now weeping with heavy aching hearts and must pay the high price of your costly sin in the killing fields of our children now and generation to come, sadly ever after. The violence and madness must cease. Bang, bang. We are now victims, mainly you with that arrogant smile on your face of contentment with no compassion or remorse. The system is waiting just for you with open arms, a locked-down padded cell door of your inner mind, thoughts, and soul. That's how valuable and priceless a human life is. God, who is love, God is the only one that can take life, not you. Bang, oh, 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 oh. Bang, oh, 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 oh. Bang, oh, 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 oh. What gave you the right to take my son's life?
That is like the story of so many parents with their children being taken away from them.
Yeah.
So many parents. I sit up here and currently, I was sharing with you that the young man at Ballou High School that was autistic, and some other students decided that they wanted to bully him, that they wanted to use his phone.
Yes.
And because he did not want to use his phone, they decided to beat him and to tase him.
Yeah.
And now his parents has no child.
Yes.
Because he passed away, and his funeral was actually yesterday. He's one of my members at work who lost his son. What are your thoughts about a lot of the time We talk about other people. We talk about black on black crime a
Yeah.
lot, and how we're kind of extinguishing each other, and then also being flying around with sexuality. You know, you had a passion about that too, because a while back you wrote a poem because you were not happy with the outspread of AIDS.
Yes.
So you wrote a poem even about that too, because it's causing a lot of people to pass away.
Yes, I was driving through D.C. one day, and I was listening to a black radio station, and they were talking about the senior women who were catching AIDS, and what was so sad was a lot of the women were dating younger men, and they were catching AIDS, and it was a serious problem, but it still is. But of course, by it being black folks, it never on the news. So I went home and wrote this poem. They are dying out there, folks. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. God also created the beautiful man and woman in his very own image. God, who is love, also created love just for us. Being in love and loving your soulmate is one of the most sensual feelings in the universe. But love has also killed more men and women than all the wars put together. They are dying out there, folks. Our family, even our grandparents, who are the backbone and foundation of our very own existence. Why am I so emotional, passionate, uproar within my mind, body, heart, and soul? Our people are dying out there, folks, from AIDS. What are you going to do about this situation? Our children, who's supposed to be our future leaders, are dying right in front of our very own eyes. Nothing, I said nothing, is being done about this tragedy. If we don't stand up for something, we will fall for anything. To my self-righteous Christian brothers and sisters, I don't want to hear your lip service about they shouldn't have sex in the first place. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones either. Don't you forget I personally knew you when. There are some destructive, walking human snakes, knowing that they are carriers of the HIV virus and are affecting our lonely elders with their poisonous venom. Elders who only want to be hugged, caressed, and loved with pride and dignity. They are dying out there, folks. To you so-called elites, VIP bourgeoisies, your behind also can be infected on those satin sheets of yours as you lay. Love is not supposed to hurt or kill. There's a beautiful biblical verse, let not your heart be troubled. I say, please do, let your heart be truly of trouble with every fiber in your body, because that is the only way we can defeat this dreadful and devastating man-made disease called AIDS. Only then we can claim the victory. They are dying out there, folks. What are we going to do?
Oh my goodness. Okay, now I had never, you told me you was going to do that one. That one is one that I had not heard before. And just as everything else and all your other works are just so powerful. There are some people that maybe because you're getting back out there, of course you have all these wonderful poems that are laminated, that are available for people to purchase. You have your wonderful book, An Evolution of Poetry, which has several things. And of course we can always still reduplicate the trunk and things of nature. Mm-hmm. If people want to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you? Or how do they follow you? Are you on social media? Email?
And that's small letters GRANDMASLAM, Grandma Slam number 5 at gmail.com.
GrandmaSlam5 at gmail.com.
Yes.
And because we don't want to have anybody harassing her, we're not giving out her cell phone number. But if you do want to call and get in contact with her, you can reach out to me, Your Girl Tasha, on 240-545-5695. You can call 240-545-5695, and I will gladly get you in touch with Grandma Slam. Also, you can always send me a friend request. Follow me on social media on Facebook at Latasha Carpenter. That's Latasha Carpenter. Or on Instagram, this is Your Girl Tasha. So, we're going to have, we're coming down to the end stretch right here. Did you had one more that you wanted to do?
Yes.
Or is there anything that you want to close out and say?
My dear age is just only a number.
All right.
I wrote this one day. I used to walk, and it had just rained. It was in the spring, and I just felt so good, and I just wrote this poem. And it's called My Dear Age is Just Only a Number. When you can awaken thanking your Creator for another divine blessed day, when you can open a window, breathing, inhaling, exhaling, absorbing the refreshing musical air through the pores of your very own soul. When you can tiptoe bare feet onto stepping stones among the early morning dew, with falling misty rain touching your face with such a gentle grace, smelling the aroma of floral spice of life that surrounds you. Oh, when you can bathe in the spiritual fountain of youth, recharging and energizing the supernatural healing powers of your belief system, renewing faith, wisdom that dwells in the holy kingdom of your very own temple. When you can anoint and pamper lavishly your true self with jasmine oils, replenishing, smoothing the outer lining of your heavenly body and mind. Now you can journey into spiritual urban gardens of the outer limits, planting seeds of happiness, humanity, and truth to all whom you would meet. When you can weave and banish out the flaws of evil, negativity, wickedness of this world that would come your way many a day. When you can rejoice, sharing and spreading sunbeams of hope, love, and peace through your very own radiant inner beauty and strength. When you can dream and visualize and invent the yet to come through the future time zone of the unknown, with the revolving universe in the palm of your hand. Only then, as a worthy, deserving Queen Tasha that you truly are, can you wear the ageless and prestigious crown made of milestone reflecting of your very own stories, defeats, and glory. Now you can walk through the storms and valley yet to come, holding your head up high, not fearing the shadow of death, because you know within your very own heart that God has prepared eternal and everlasting life for you. My brothers and sisters, do you truly understand what I am saying? Age is just only a number.
No, that's right. Age is just a number. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. I tell you, I don't know what to do with you. You're just a feisty somebody, I tell you. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you for having me, Tasha.
I am so glad that we had this opportunity so that you could share more of your wonderful words to people. I mean, we knew that we couldn't duplicate what happened on Monday, but this is just great. I mean, I think it was meant for you to share with people about the depression and how you held on to the loss of your baby sister and things like that, because there's some people out there, sometimes we just got to go and share what
Yeah.
we're going through, because when we don't share, we're being selfish, because there's someone out there that had a breakthrough
Yes.
because of you opening up and giving that. There's someone out there that's being inspired because they know that at the age of 60, you decided that you was going to jump into this arena that most people will be scared of. Who is this lady coming out here and decided she want to do some poetry and compete with these young folks and
Yeah.
stuff like that? But you had that courage to go ahead and do that. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't that comfortable for you to do it first.
At first, no. Because I was shaking like a leaf. I be holding the paper just like this.
But once the shakes went away, look what came out.
Yeah, and I'm thanking God. God, I'm thanking you all the way.
Amen.
I'm thanking you all the way. And then I'm thanking all the beautiful friends, including your mom, who helped me. She would sell my T-shirts. She would count my money because she said I didn't know how to bookkeep. So she would count the money. And your Aunt Dee was selling sweatshirts at the post office, and she would not take a penny. And if I give her a free T-shirt, I had to throw it in the house and run out and then jump in the car because she was going to pay me for it. I just had so many friends like your mother, Natalie Johnson, and your auntie, Dee Johnson, to help me, and so many other beautiful friends that have stood by me and helped me write. One of the ladies told me, said, you don't have to write. Just write it down a little bit, and we'll take it over. And they have. So I'm just blessed with so many friends.
That's right. It's a good thing when you can embrace other, and it's not
Yeah.
about competition, and you're not gonna worry about that if I lift you up, that somehow it's gonna make me look small. Like you said on the other show, there's no big I's and little U's.
And that's the same way I feel with poetry. You know, because we're not supposed to be competing. God has given us all this gift. And what God wants us to do is go out and teach, tell the truth, and help people. And it's in the Bible. In Acts 17:28. We are God's offspring, the poets.
Yes. I so much love
Yeah.
you so much. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much. And I love you too, baby.
Thank you,
You're
thank you,
welcome.
thank you. So, guys, this is a retake, a wonderful retake of You're Hanging with Your Girl Tasha, featuring the wonderful, beautiful, young Grandma Slam. Again, if you want to reach her, her email is grandmaslam5@gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay, grandmaslam5@gmail.com. And we'll be back to the regular schedule come Monday. Back on the scene, 5:30 to 6:30. Have a mystery guest. Put her up on my page, guys. You want to hear this story of restored health that happened with this young lady. She's gonna share some information with people that you just don't know, because some of us think that everybody got it going on, and it's not always going that way,
Right.
you know. So sometimes you just gotta be free. You gotta take the mask off.
Right.
To be real, to release yourself. So, again, I thank you for tuning in with Hanging with Your Girl Tasha, and we will see you on Monday.
Thank you for having me.